Hey fellow reefers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lee. This is Reefer Explained. Today we're taking a quick dive into the updates of the tank. Just take you along to show you what's kind of going on and just to give you my insight on what's going to be going forward with this tank as I'm going to do some changes really. I think for livestock and coral, I'm pretty much going to keep it the same. I may add a new fish to the system shortly. I'm just trying to work out what that will be. It may come at Christmas time, may pick up a hawkfish or something similar. But because I have a lawnmower Blenny that's kind of perching as well, there he is. I'm not sure if that's going to be a great fit for that. So we'll come back to that. So updates on the tank. We've got the levels pretty much exactly where I wanted them to be on parameters. So I'll go through them now and tell you what I've done, but I didn't do this all in one go. The magnesium has come up from 1280 to 1410. And the reason I've done that is a local LFS growing store where they obviously growing coral said that, you know, get your magnesium higher and you'll see a lot of growth in your encrusting corals, which I am now, and color formation. And also I had problems with calcium. Calcium was deficient at about 380. Couldn't ever get it up to 420 where I used to have it on my old display. Had some issues, but as soon as I got the magnesium there, the calcium started to come back up as it was. I was dumping so much calcium in before, and the sand at the bottom was starting to encrust like plates of sand. And I knew that there was an issue. So I think there were some elements that just weren't correct in that side of things. So we are good. Alkalinity is 8.3 to 9.1. I really need to get a smart tester on here. So, you know, for the purpose of the video, any companies want to really reach out and offer me that experience to test one out, to put it on the system, see how it runs. I'd love to see it scheduling on kind of data throughout the day of what my alkalinity is. I test in the morning usually, and sometimes I test in the afternoon, but I think that's my next step, is what I'm going to be going for. Also else on the system, so we got nitrates and phosphates. Nitrates used to sit around 5. I've been dosing that manually to get it up, and we're at 11.9, which is the highest it's been. It drops steadily to around 9, back down to 5 if I don't add any nitrates from NIAS from a bottle. So that's that to bear in mind. But since doing that as well, my corals have really shined through from bringing up those nutrients. And I think Gonnies and Alvies, especially from my tank here, they really depend on nutrients in the system to benefit from that. So that's my takeaway from that. Phosphates I still always struggle with. I'm at 0.03 ppm. And I'm dosing that in on a manual doser around 4 mils a day. Let me know what your thoughts are around that. Again, I know you're going to say add more fish and so forth, but that takes time, and I'm not just going to dump a bunch of fish in here to bring up those levels. I think if I'm adding enough food, or at least adding the supplement for it, then that should cover it. But let me know what your thoughts are about dosing nitrates and phosphates, what you think is respectable in this manner. It just seems like I'm dumping a lot of stuff in, and obviously my system below, which we'll go through now, is just yanking it out. So I think now marine kind of expectations of keeping fish and coral, it's more, it's quite expensive on equipment, but also it's come to that era now that everything is done for you on automation. Yes, you have to maintain and clean pumps or impellers, but the amount of stuff that you can get for a reef tank is just insane. And you can see under here, it looks like something from a Star Wars film where, you know, everything is running off so many plug sockets and so many things going on. But we'll go through them and what's been going well if you've not already caught up to this. So on the left here, where the water comes in for the main drain on this weir, this ball valve, the main drain goes onto this hose and onto the Redsea roller mat. And the roller mat has been key for me. I used to use the socks, then I had to put them in the wash machine. My other half didn't like that, and obviously I don't like it. Then it was just a faff of doing it. It was smelly. Also, drying them out or bleaching them, I just wasn't comfortable doing. Then I started using cups with floss, which really worked well for me, and I could change that out easily. But I just wanted the mechanical filtration of something rolling out instead of me going in here and taking it out. And the roller mat has been probably the best thing I ever bought. The motor went on it, but I replaced the motor for £13 myself. Saw a video online and did it, and you can see my video on my page, and it was so simple to do. And I would say get a backup motor for these while they're in stock, just in case, because you never know when it's going to go down. I've replaced this, but I'm going to buy another one, because when they're wheeling out this gunk, it gets heavy, and I think it's a lot of strain on the motor, and so many turns constantly. I've had this installed for a couple of years, so I think probably get a new spare motor for yourself, just in case. Running onto other equipment that's doing well but maybe replaced is the MaxSpec Jump. I've had this for many years now. It's done its weight in gold. The issue I find that I think it's too big of a skimmer, overpowered for the 2 pumps, and it's just I can never quite get enough skim out of it, and I feel like either my system's not got enough nutrients or I'm kind of doing it wrong. But you can see it's foaming. We're at 80% here across the board, and let me just bring that open. The gate valve there through as you can see, is about halfway closed. So let me know what your thoughts are if you're good with these protein skimmers. But usually I get some skim and I clean out the cup and I empty whatever waste goes over. But I just felt like I'm going to replace it with the Deltec 400i. I love that protein skimmer before. It's such a cylindrical, thin unit. It will fit in the space a lot better. Yeah, I just think it's going to be a winner for me. They do the new top for them now with the hole punch, so you can put the CO2 line on. And I think I'm going to upgrade to that. It's a super quiet skimmer as well. No qualms about this. I mean, it's a bit noisy sometimes when you're up to 100%, but I just felt like it's going to be time at some point to replace that. But seeing as my levels of nitrates and phosphates, do I really need to upgrade as well? That's another key thing. But I love gadgets, I love the new gear, and I think it's just time probably to get a new skimmer. But we'll take that for next year anyway. Things that are really doing well for me and working is the CO2 scrubber. I think it's doing really well. I've just replaced the media on it. The media completely changed to purple. The pH meter on the pH refactory dropped to 7.95. It's going back up now slowly. It will get back up to about 8.3. But most of the windows are closed now because it's in the winter time here in the UK and it's getting cold. So this is why it's dropped quite dramatically. So that's a bit worrying. But at the same point, the higher the pH, the more my alkalinity will be drawn out, and then obviously I have to increase dosing and so forth. And I'd rather keep things steady than anything else. But that dropping showed me that the colour had changed, and I knew that was time to change it out. We've got the just going back to the sump area, if you can see. So we've got two heaters here. We've got the main heater that clicks on through the thermal control by refactory. It's just the heater and the fan, but this controls the heating element for this TMC 300 V2 heater. I change this out every year or so, just over. Keep the spare one if it isn't broken. If it's completely messed up, then I just bin it. This one's pretty much brand new. It's never really been used. It's on it's a secondary heater, a backup at 77 or 76 on the temperature for the Inkbird, which I've got a backup, and it's got a Wi-Fi plug, which is here, so I can click that on when I'm away in case the heater gives me the thermal control gives me an alert saying that the heat is dropping. Then I know that it's not working correctly, and I can click that on, and that's the whole reason behind that. The other thing that I'll keep on here, unless I get a company that reaches out to me and wants me to try it, I love DC return pump, sorry, should I just say. This is the J-Bow 3500. Love this return pump. Not had an issue with it since I put it on. It's Wi-Fi controllable and super quiet. You barely hear it it's on once you've turned everything else off the system, and it's just down there. We've also got the red line coming in, which is the RO water going in, and the red bracket. Let me just see if I can flip you to show you, which is, yeah, So the red bracket there is the ATO line, which is the titanium rods from Redsea, which indicate the water level's low or high, and then that obviously throws the RO through that red tube and in there, and the actual controller unit is set there. Great piece of equipment. I'll be keeping that for the foreseeable future unless it fails on me. Redsea dose of 4 will be staying because it's solid. So easy to use with the Reef app, and I've got all my alkalinity, calcium, magnesium, and NOPOX on there. I think in the future, if I upgrade to a KH monitor controller with its own dosing pump, then I'll use one of these lines for maybe feeding the tank or something like that, Redsea AB Plus or something similar, but we'll see. I've used that product before and I really like it. It's just at the moment I've kind of flipped away from that at the moment. We'll be keeping the dosing box because obviously it works really well. We've got these little lids by Red Starfish, I think it's called, yeah, it just holds those 3 elements: alkalinity, calcium, and magnesium. And then NOPOX we've got on a bottle dosing. Apart from that, underneath is pretty much the same. We added a little TMC pump that I had spare, pushing flow and keeping that particulate suspended because it's coming from the secondary overflow drain here. Some of those particulates and kind of sponges and things, everything's getting caked up on the pumps or the heaters. It needs more maintenance for me, so I keep it suspended and then it goes into the skimmer chamber here and that gets drawn out. Once in a while, I don't know if anyone else is doing this, the bubble trap here between the black sponge in between, if you can see this there, that I take out maybe once a month, once every 2 months. I run it under the shower to kind of clean it out, scrub it out. I know that it's got bacteria and stuff in there, but obviously most of the bacteria will be on my biomedia, which is in this section here, and the bricks underneath and inside the tank, so I don't really see it being a problem. It's there to trap the bubbles, I believe, and any detritus, and I usually find there's a bit of detritus in there, so I'd rather just clean it out that way than trying to do it in an empty bucket with the old mixing water that's coming out of the tank. Water changes are done once a month now through the sump. They're done manually with a hose and just straight out to the drain. Nothing special there, no automated systems on that. And I'm doing it once a month from every 2 weeks because there's no need anymore. I'm dosing manganese, I'm dosing the foods, I'm dosing nitrates and phosphates, and I dose some amino acids and coral food to the system. Obviously some trace elements once in a while from ABCD from Redsea to get those levels back up, but I'm not dosing them at the moment. I currently off them. We've got the green light here, as you can see. This is this box here, this white box, if we can get a light situation on this. This is the dosing pump from Reef Factory, and it's rock solid. It just goes down onto a little bottle just below for the phosphates dosing in, and that's dosing around 4 ml a day. We've taken off, you can see a slot up the top here. This DIN rail used to hold the Reef Factory smart tester. We've taken that offline. It might come back on. I may just get rid of it. It was testing for phosphate, should I say. It's been rock solid. It did break down, but they did honour their warranty issue. They replaced it for me, which is really great of them. But I felt like the beaker inside will need cleaning quite regularly for it to not build up calcification, and that affects the kind of testing. Then obviously on top of that, those beakers are around £33, which is quite expensive for a glass beaker. The reagent is about £27, and I've got a Hannah checker for phosphates that works just as well, and all I have to do is obviously buy the powder form reagent and test manually. It takes me about 4 minutes to do, and I just don't see if I need it anymore. It's been great, and yeah, we'll touch base on that. I've got it here with me, so I'll show you. The other thing that's come offline, so this spares up 2 plugs for me, is the Reef Factory thermal view. I'll go over as well. That failed, but it was on here a long time, and I'd say that's probably one of the best things I ever bought in the system for me, because I was always worried about heat going up or being too cold from the summer and so forth. So Now we're just running the thermal view, which is the white and blue instead of the red version, which is just the thermal view is just the sends you text alerts, emails, sound, but this one will control. That's the only difference. So I bought the thermal view first when it first came out, and then they brought this one out. So I was like, had both on here at one point, and just not needed anymore. So we've only got the one running now, and I think I won't be bringing it back unless this was to fail, and then I'll just use the thermal view for viewing, and then the Inkbird for controlling. But I think anyone that hasn't got one or needs one, then get one of them, because they're great for the side of the tank. They're not too bright, the thermal view, they're just red. This one's a lot brighter. You can see it kind of blares out a lot of light. That's the only issue with that. I wish they could turn this down a bit. But yeah, great products, but we'll go through them now. Okay, so we got both products here. Just wanted to show you because I've not really done a major unboxing of these for a long time. Maybe the thermal view was one of the ones I kind of missed. Basically, as I said, it's got a probe on the unit. You'll need to download the app via the Google Play Store, Apple Play Store, the Refactory app. Really easy to use, really great piece of equipment. I think they're around 95 quid, which is a lot for a temperature gauge, but I tell you, the amount of gauges that I went through the years with batteries and things just not really reading out as they should be, they were just pointless. So I would suggest this to anyone, and I think this is one of the best things I ever got, just for peace of mind. So inside the box, you'll get all the kind of jargon leaflet, just showing you through the system. You'll get the unit itself, which is a screen red LED. You've got a reset button on the side. Basically, it's use a magnet on here, which you get with it. You've got the QR code that you scan on the back when you're looking for the system, and that long RVT code is here is the code, the serial number for the system that will come up when you're looking for the unit. It's got the probe here that's long enough, and the port, the plug-in. The plug-in situation is just get that, is the adapter here is the plug, and you get different kind of pins to use. So if you've got an all-in-one, or American version, you can use the 2-prong, or you've got UK, use the 3, and you've got a few other ones here for different countries. And I just really like that they do that, because some of these plugs don't really fit well on your board, so something to bear in mind. But also you'll get inside the box is some sticky pads to stick the unit, the magnet, there's the magnet, and there's the 3ml stick pads for the actual unit itself. But this is probably one of the best things I ever got, and I would suggest anyone to get one if you don't have, or you just have an Inkbird that's not Wi-Fi controllable or sends you any alerts. Get one of those, because I tell you, it will just bleep out a noise if the heater fails, or if it's stuck on outside those margins, and gives you that peace of mind. Going on to the other piece here, the smart tester, just in case you haven't seen this on one of my videos. The smart tester, I don't remember the 3 parameters. It may say on the back actually. Let me just see. But yeah, okay, so it does. So it goes for phosphates, which I've been testing, which are reagents that 1 and 2, which look like this. So they're just reagents, and then they plug on underneath this with like a little hole where the tubing will go on, which I'll show you a little bit more. You've got magnesium, calcium, and I believe nitrates. Wish it would do alkalinity, because then this would be a game changer. I would probably keep this, but unfortunately it just relies on those ones. You can only do 1 test at a time, and if you want to change the test reagents, you have to do a lot of calibration and fluid flushing, I believe. The unit is very compact, retails at $599, which is a bit expensive for 1 test personally, but inside the box, let's just get you a little bit closer to the action. So inside the box, you'll get the normal stuff, the leaflet, the QR code, and some instructions. Reef support for the units is really good. They are in Poland, I believe, but you raise a ticket and then they'll get back to you. The way it works is I think you send it off to Senai here in the UK, in Norfolk, and then they look at it, and then if they can't fix it, then they'll replace it if it's within warranty, that is. And their ticket response is pretty good. They're really quick. Here's the unit. Obviously brand new, this one, because they replaced. On the side is the in for the water and out for the wastewater. The lines just clip on here, which you get in the box. You've got the DIN rail on the back, which you can mount. Makes it so simple to use, just clicks into place. Really like that. The power cable, it's got the slot, so obviously you can fit flush. Got these feet here, so it kind of sits on a board as it was before. And then you've got a little light indicator here for you can turn on and off, but that gives you the indication of when the test is running or when it's done, which is a really nice feature. This is magnetized plate, just like that. And then inside the box, you've got the dosing lines that are taking water in and out. And then you've got the reagents 1, 2, and 3. I think the third one is for the RO flushing, if I'm not mistaken, or it could just be if you need 3 reagents. I've only ever used the 2 slots here, and the way it would work is this goes onto the reagent tube here, that's line number 1, and then so forth. And these are just little pegs that they've put in place to secure them for, I don't know, cosmetically looking, I guess, but hey. Inside here, you've got the mixing station, which is the cuvette I was talking about, and it has a little pill that goes in the bottom here. And this is the beaker I'm talking about that needs constant cleaning or maintenance or replacement once a year. I don't know, but that's kind of thing that may have failed on my side. But yeah, the actual size of the unit and everything else is amazing. The test reagents would go in like this, and then they would clip onto this part here underneath. The inside the box you're gonna get with this unit is we've got the tubing, which is the white one, which is the water in. It's got the filter. The blue is the waste out. You've got some 2 testing lines for the RO. We've got a scale in there, a little scale. We also get a magnet to reset and some clips, plastic clips. These are used for the bracket to go in the sump or on the edge of your aquarium, or if it's in the rear of the aquarium, I suppose you could use it on an all-in-one. The RO bottle that you'll fill up, and the connections for the power supply, and that's it inside the box. Nothing special, but a great piece of kit if you really want to get a tester within that range of £600. Reagents are around £27 roughly online from any of your local LF stores. Sell them. Charterhouse Aquatics and Kraken Corals I know sell them. Yeah, check them out and see what you think. We are going to cut the video right there because we've kind of gone through what's gone on the tank recently, and I feel like that's as much as there's been happening on this system. So if you've enjoyed the content today and you want to give it a thumbs up or give me any comments, that would be great. But it's just a quick overview of how the system's running, what's to come. I'll be doing an update hopefully on the Reef Kinetics shortly on the all-round tester, but the size factor for me, it just won't fit anywhere underneath the display. I don't have any room, so I'm looking for either KH Guardian by Reef D&D, or it will be another Reef Factory KH auto tester. I just really want to know where the alkalinity is constantly sitting throughout the day to improve on my dosing levels of alkalinity to make sure they're correct. But that's where we're at the moment with the tank. It's been doing amazingly well. I appreciate all the support and people commenting. And if you are new, please give me some comments, feedback on what you're running in your tank. I would really like to know what people are doing these days. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.